Have you ever had one of those brilliant million-dollar app ideas pop into your head? You know, the one you're sure could be huge, but you have absolutely no clue how to actually bring it to life? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that exact process. We're going to see how a simple thought becomes a real, working piece of software you can actually use.
Okay, so you've got it. The idea. It's a game changer. But then what? I mean, what is the very next step you take? Where on earth do you even begin to turn that little spark of genius into something people can download and use?
You know, this is the classic trap. On one side, you have the dream, right? A perfect, polished app ready to go. But on the other side, well, without a plan, you get the reality. Just a tangled, chaotic mess of code, random notes, and a whole lot of frustration. Our goal today is to show you how to avoid that chaos completely.
To make this whole journey feel real, we're going to follow an entrepreneur. Let's call him Alex. He has this fantastic idea for an online store. But just like most of us, he needs a map to get from that initial idea to a successful launch.
Every great project, Alex's store included, starts right here, with the master plan. This is the first and maybe the most critical stage, where a vague idea starts to get shaped into a concrete blueprint that a team can actually work from.
Now, this master plan has a kind of formal name, the Software Development Lifecycle, or SDLC for short. But don't let the jargon fool you. Seriously, it's just a proven, step-by-step recipe that teams use to dodge all that chaos we talked about and build amazing software time and time again.
This is the perfect way to think about it. You wouldn't build a house by just grabbing some wood and nails and hoping for the best, would you? Of course not. You'd get a detailed blueprint first. The SDLC is that blueprint, but for software. It's what makes sure the final product is strong, stable, and exactly what you wanted from day one. So this blueprint isn't just one big step. It's a 6-phase journey. And this is the exact roadmap Alex is going to follow to build his store. We're going to walk through every single one of these, from the very first brainstorming session all the way to what happens even after the app goes live.
All right, let's dive into the first 2 phases, which are all about planning and defining. Honestly, this part is all about communication. It's where Alex sits down with the experts and just does a massive brain dump. He explains his vision, who his customers are, and every little thing the store should do. The goal here is just to get every idea out on the table.
But those conversations can't just float in the air. They get formalized into this super important document called the Software Requirement Specification, or SRS. You should think of this thing as the project's Bible. It's the official agreement that spells out every single feature, so there is zero confusion between what Alex wants and what the developers are going to build.
Okay, so with the what firmly locked down in that SRS document, we can finally move on to the how. It's time to actually start drafting the architectural blueprints for Alex's online store.
So in the design phase, the team basically puts on their architect hats. They take the SRS, that whole list of what Alex wants, and they translate it into a technical blueprint. They're figuring out the deep structure, how all the different pieces are going to connect, and what technologies are best to bring it all to life. And this technical blueprint gets captured in another document, the Design Document Specification, or DDS. And listen, this is no rough sketch. We're talking detailed architectural drawings, spelling out everything from how data moves through the app to the exact tools and programming languages the team is going to use. It's the complete technical map.
Now that we have the blueprints, it is time for the hard hats to come on. This is where the digital construction starts, and it's followed by a really rigorous inspection.
And now for what is often the longest and most intense phase of them all, development. This is where the coders, our digital construction crew, take those super detailed blueprints and start writing the actual code. We're talking thousands upon thousands of lines of it, carefully bringing the design to life, one feature at a time.
Okay, so the code is written. The app exists. Alex's online store is finally built. We can pop the champagne and launch this thing to the world. Right? Can't we?
Not so fast. A new building needs a complete inspection before anyone can move in, yeah? Well, it's the exact same thing for software. It has to be checked for bugs. You know, those sneaky little errors in the code that can cause anything from a tiny glitch to a massive crash.
And testing isn't just a single step. Oh no, it is a relentless loop. The quality team's job is to hunt for bugs. When they find one, they report it. The developers fix it, and then the testers go right back in and try to break it all over again. This cycle repeats over and over and over until the app is absolutely rock solid.
Once the app is stable and bug-free, we finally reach the moment Alex has been waiting for. It is time to open the doors to his digital store and start thinking about the future.
And this brings us to the final phase, deployment and maintenance. The app goes live. It's out there in the world with real users, but the work is never truly done. This part is an ongoing cycle of supporting customers, squashing any new bugs that pop up, and rolling out updates to keep Alex's store fresh and competitive.
So, after following Alex through this entire journey, let's just step back and ask the big question. Why go through all this trouble? Why is having a blueprint like the SDLC so incredibly important?
Well, it all comes down to this. Following a structured process is what delivers the 3 things every single project needs to succeed. You get a high-quality product that actually works, you stay on budget, and you deliver on time. It is the absolute trifecta of project success.
So, what's the big takeaway here? The SDLC isn't just a bunch of boring paperwork. It's a systematic map for what is a very complex journey. It makes sure that what the customer wants is exactly what gets built, all while keeping the money and the deadlines in check. It's the difference between chaos and success.
And that brings us right back to Alex. His online store became a success not just because he had a great idea, but because he trusted the process. He had a blueprint, the SDLC, that guided him and his team from just a concept to a finished, successful product.
The process isn't a mystery anymore. You have the blueprint now. So for that brilliant idea that's been rattling around in your head, what will you build?